Bam! Welcome back. It's Tuesday. You're hanging with your favorite nerds, the Roll for Mischief crew. The name of the game is Winds of War. The name of the episode 9, is Red Sky, dungeon mastered by our intrepid Drew Murray in the lower left over there.
I know it sounds pretty, angsty, but right now it's been more like a black sky.
Yeah. I mean, like, I want to check out your new emo band that you're starting. I mean, I really do.
Black
Believe
sky
me.
snow wall.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
it's British band.
Yep. Ace is in charge of naming things from now on.
Oh God, no.
Oh no,
No,
upper
God,
black,
no.
dark blackness.
Hey, that one was inspired.
That was all
That
Eric.
was
by the
really
way.
good. hmm
Yeah.
All
For
right.
those of you who don't know, which is all of you, that was an inside joke between Kyle and me.
Upper dark black, upper darkness. Okay, so on we go.
Maybe Alex. was watching
We
this.
left off where Thiala, after melting an ice wall in a tunnel that you found 30 feet up from the sea level, Thiala, Eridu, and Eigner started climbing. Eridu slipped and fell, into the icy cold water below. Lots of sea creatures starting to circle around. Thiala runs off and dives into the water to try and catch Eridu. The intention being that she's going to rescue the both of them and get them back into the tunnel. Before that happens, Eigner, are you going to stay attached to the, like you've got enough with your athletics to climb all the way up? Are you going to stay on the edge just to see if you can help in any way, or are you going to climb all the way up to the top?
I mean, it's kind of hard, and also I had this idea that I wanted to try and like fit in retroactively, where Eigner was going to try and like attach something and pull up the boat, but I think that's all too much to try and fit in. So what he is going to do is, I think he's actually just going to hang there for a second and try and like get some kind of indication. Like he just really has no idea what's going on. Like he's just frozen in this pose of Eridu, and then he hears the splash, and he can only imagine that that's Thiala, but he just needs to wait and figure out what's actually going on.
Well, the best thing to do is roll for initiative.
Oh, okay.
Is that all of us, or is that Agner and you?
That is absolutely everyone.
Oh, good, because
Absolutely
I could roll
everyone.
something well, and I don't have disadvantage on initiative.
Thank goodness.
19.
19.
That's what I rolled, a nat 19. Well, I mean, it was a nat 16, and then I added 3 to it.
I got Big
Is that a
Sev.
7?
Big Sev, dude.
Sev.
7.
Big Sev. Schleven. I got a Schleven.
The lucky number 11.
Lucky number Schleven.
What did you get, Josh?
15.
Hi, Gertie.
15. This one's Annabelle.
Oh, Annabelle. I can't tell you
Yeah,
dogs
that's-
apart.
That's the Annabelle.
Oh.
She's
Do they all
young.
look alike to you?
All those dogs, dude. They all just look alike to
Dude.
me.
That guy.
All right. So, Eridu, you are first. You have plunged into this icy cold pool. Since the water is so cold, it is, in fact, frigid water. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Huh, yes, your clothes do not save you, which is good. Good.
Uh-oh.
What is your constitution
Well, yeah.
score? Not the modifier, the complete score.
Yes, I know. It is a 10.
10. That is the total number of minutes you can stay before suffering ill effects of being in frigid water. So you've got 10
I have no
minutes.
intention of being in this water for 10 minutes. Not at all.
Although
Um,
I should
you
hope
also
not.
worry about holding your breath. Is that holding your breath, or are you talking about the cold?
I'm talking about the cold.
Okay,
Being
because you also have
submerged.
so many minutes or rounds based on yours for.
Yeah, I think it's number of rounds based on your constitution.
Yeah.
I
score.
will go out on a limb here and say the holding my breath thing is almost a moot point since I was not ready to plunge into the water and did not take a big gulp of breath before I went in.
Mm.
So I have very little resources with which to use in this situation.
Just continually the damsel in distress, Eridu.
However,
It is pitch black under here, and the water is difficult to see in. But you can see shape.
Okay. I will say that I. F you, D&D Beyond. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? I know what I want to do,
Mhm.
but I need to check on a ruling. So this turn, I'm going to spend my speed and do my full move action to the surface of the water.
Okay. You'll be able to get to the surface with that easily enough.
Good. I do have another action to do after that, and I'm just gonna I'll just do that on my next turn. So, go ahead and move on.
All right. What was your armor class? I can check.
AC
Never mind.
is 16.
AC is 16. Thank you, D&D Beyond thing on the thingy, the twitchy thing.
Oh yeah, it's super helpful for DMs, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you can also like if you log on to the account, you can access it all that way.
True. Right. As Eridu begins swimming to the surface, he starts feeling these very sharp pains in his legs as he's kicking, and his movement is almost arrested, but he's able to quickly move this tangle around his feet out of the way, and as he breaches the surface, he gets a brief taste. There is not only the saltiness of the ocean, but there is a slight tang of iron, his own blood. You have taken 14 piercing damage from something biting at your legs.
Oof.
All right. 14 piercing.
And that's just your movement, so you've got an action still.
Oh well, if that's the case, then I'm going to use my bonus action to. How far away is the cave entrance where Eigner is currently at?
I'm not.
It's
I'm halfway
20
up.
It's 20 feet up, but I'd say because you're part submerged, you'll count as prone. Because you're basically like half on the ground.
It won't make any difference in this. I just need to know if it was under 30 feet. I'm going to Misty Step from where I'm at to the top of the cliff.
There you go.
Nice.
The only reason I didn't do it earlier was because you had made the description of how dark the water was, so I couldn't see where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
But now that
So
you've
I
reached the top, yes. As you misty step up to the top, you see a half-built tent and a billowing of fog around the back of it.
All right, I'm looking around for Thiala, calling out, and then I'll be calling out for Thiala while also trying to help Eigner with his climb.
I would be probably pretty much right at the edge of the cliff at that point. Right?
Oh, because you.
I
hadn't
believe
even
you
jumped.
dove in already.
Well,
oh yeah, I did dive in already.
Yeah.
Yes. So we
But I
stopped
don't know that.
before you'd reached for and grabbed Eridu. We'll say, for the sake of things, Thiala, I will allow you to grab onto Eridu and sort of ride him up to the surface as you see him pass you.
That's
So
so
you can
funny.
start at the surface.
It's like
rather than underwater.
Eridu didn't even see Thiala. Just...
No, I didn't.
No,
not at all.
I would actually argue no, that because it's too dark for her to have seen him in the first place.
Okay.
So no, she did not see.
Yeah.
So she dove into the water. So you're in the exact same.
She
situation
stole the
that
water
Eridu
looking
started
for
with then. So
Eridu.
you're underwater and you just see these eel-like shapes swimming
Correct.
around.
So you're down there looking for me, and I'm up here looking for you.
Correct.
God,
So
guys.
I guess
Oh my God. And
with a
Eridu's the monkey in the middle.
passive perception of 15.
I mean, Eigner.
Bear in mind I do have dark vision. With a passive perception of 15, do I see Eridu?
Wait, if you had dark vision though, then why didn't you see Eridu in the first
because
instance.
I dove and splashed in. It's a very quick process. If he's
Okay.
climbing up, like
Yeah.
you're not like diving.
I'll say because the rounds are supposed to be happening simultaneously, you'll just notice Eridu on the surface and then disappear entirely.
Right. Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Gotta nail down the timing.
Yeah.
So I would have seen him as I'm hitting the water. I would have seen him at the surface, essentially.
I'm thinking more like after you've dove in and the sort of bubbles and disturbance of you diving in the first place is sort of dissipated. As you're looking around, you'll notice him on the surface. You'll see his legs kicking, and then all of a sudden, nothing. You'll see
Okay.
the water sort of like collapse into where his body was.
Right. Yeah. So essentially, okay. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I would have seen him. So in that case, I mean, in that case, I'm just going to, having seen him get out of there, I'm gonna dimension door back up to the top without.
Since Dimension Door is only a verbal component,
I am aware that I'm going to have to eat
surface.
liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because you can speak, but you can talk. Or are you saying that you want me to go up to the surface first?
I'd say it's either going to be an Arcana check to see if you could vocalize
Okay.
well enough underwater, or to surface and then do it. So Arcana check, I'm happy with. Sorry?
16.
Yeah, I was thinking 15 for the DC, so easily done. You're able to vocalize the component for Dimension Door just as this eel mouth and blind looking eyes open their jaws, move towards you, and almost move through you as you appear back in the tunnel.
Right.
And Eigner will be able to like hear, two wet bodies slapping against the ice and stone up above him.
What's going on?
No, he's not here.
Wait, I know. I realized when I said that it sounds like on. Hi, Pops.
I'm gonna I'll be pulling Eigner the rest of the way up and just a quick swim. That is all.
That's the last thing that we need right now. Like I said, we need to make a fire immediately. Eigner will start pulling out from the bag of holding his tinderbox and the extra firewood that he secured.
Okay. With a survival of 10, does Eridu know that that staying in the wet clothes is only going to increase his chances of having some sort of reaction, some sort of hypothermia reaction or anything like that?
Yeah, it's general knowledge.
Okay.
It's in general
Okay, that's what I was, because 10 is general. If it's general knowledge, then yeah, he starts, as Eigner starts getting a fire going, he starts to strip off his wet clothes.
Oh yeah, definitely Thiala. Like as soon as she popped up, that like even before Eridu started doing that, she was already like working on. She actually. So what I'll do is and I'll take the damage for it. It's not a problem. I'm going to heat metal on my armor, and then so I can warm up, and then I'm going to start doffing it because it takes time to doff medium armor. So I don't go into hypothermia as I'm going through that process.
That's hardcore, dude. That's hardcore. I'm gonna heat metal my own armor to stave off hypothermia.
Just to warm myself.
just to
Right.
Just to keep myself warm. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh
as soon as I'm declothed, I'll snatch the bag of holding from Eigner and start rummaging for a blanket. I'll get one for me, and then when Thiala's done, I'll hand one to her. That way we have something dry to wrap around us.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully by then, Eigner's got the fire going.
My assumption is, maybe I'm wrong. My assumption is that the tents come with sleeping bags. Do they not?
I don't know, but I mean, we have. I'm sure we have bedrolls. We have blankets. We've got
Yeah.
We had ample time to prepare for this journey.
Oh
We had
yeah,
plenty.
and we have like whatever's in our starting packs. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say that the tents don't come with sleeping apparatus included
So then hold
Yeah,
on.
I don't think it's.
in the price. Right.
For sure.
'Cause
Well,
I do believe it's 2 gold for a tent, and it's like
Swing
2
with
silver bedroll or something like that.
yeah. Well, Eigner, after the fire started, and he might even just bug Thiala and just say like, "Look, can you just do the thing?" And then she'll be like, "Psh," and then like get a spurt of fire on there, and then it'll start going. He'll stack it. He'll stack it with even more logs and really just try and get a nice, respectable blaze going. And then he's
Logs, you say?
huh?
Logs.
Logs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Uh,
From his bag of holding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Reaches into a small bag and then goes like big firewood. Like so.
He's like pulls
what
out.
vegetation?
No, Eigner, Eridu, that's the tent. Or Eigner. Wrong
But-
thing.
But then Eigner will strip down to his skivvies and then get his tent set up, and he's gonna try and like get these tents set up in a way to where they're like blocking the entrance, to kind of blocking that wind. Like we still got this weird fog coming in from the other side, but there's not much we can do about that. So then he's gonna angle the tents in this way and try and like hang up the super wet clothes next to the fire on the tents. Just try and make it as cozy and good as possible.
While Eigner's setting that up, everyone's passive perceptions. What were they again? So Thiala's
15.
15,
17.
Eridu's 17.
Mine is 21 with of course the exception that it can't be based on sight.
Yes.
If it's based on anything else.
In that case, Eigner, just as you're like getting all this material out and getting ready to block the entrance, you will hear skittering coming down the tunnel towards you all. As in many almost insectoid legs, like metal clacking on stone,
Oh god.
charging down this tunnel, getting closer and closer.
Oh god. Eigner will grab his sword and grab his shield, and he'll will you allow me to do an action really quick as I'm yelling at everyone?
Sure.
Sure. Alright, I'm going to cast Bless. It's a first level spell, and I get to choose... Hold on, let me find the right window here. You get to choose Y'all, and whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw, you can roll a d4 and add the number to the attack roll or saving throw. And that's for a minute. You get to do that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's everyone's preference? To keep the initiative that we just rolled for a minute ago?
I'd like another chance at it.
Cool.
I mean,
let's re-roll
for
initiative.
sure. It's a good call. And what Eigner is going to say is he'll just start roaring, and this is fucked up because he's like in his skivvies right now. I did say that.
Yep.
But he's got his shield, so that'll help. And he'll say, "We got company!" Ah! He's like freaking out right now.
Eridu is still at a 19.
I got a 13.
10.
Ooh. So it is, in fact, Eridu again acting first. So Eridu, you can't see anything. You also haven't heard anything.
Okay.
This is all on Eigner's say-so.
So I'm up, up against the fire, trying to warm myself up, and hearing Eigner saying we've got company. I'll turn and kind of face the way that he's facing, fists ready, and not saying anything. I'll turn to Eigner and say, "Are you sure there's something coming? I don't see anything."
Absolutely. They sound like insects, and it sounds like there's a lot of them. How are we going to do this? How are we going to set up?
Oh. Well,
Maybe stay back a minute.
Yes.
I got this.
Okay.
I'd also like to ask, where exactly is the bag of holding? Because I'm going to say
I
that
think
Eigner
it-
can't have it on him. 'cause he's
Eigner's tent, I'd assume.
It's hanging with all my other stuff on
Okay.
top of my tent, essentially. Like, you got the axis, and it's just
Yeah.
you got the spokes, and it's just kind of like hanging with some other
by
stuff.
like the drawstring sort of dangling down.
Yeah.
Eridu has not set up his tent yet, so it is among the things inside the bag of holding still.
Is was this before I got a chance to take my armor off, or is this after?
This is after.
Just want to know.
We're all
so you guys have
naked,
been
dude.
like setting up for a good like 15-20 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we are all
We're all naked.
naked.
Seriously.
Yep.
I mean, Eigner's got a modest little loincloth looking thing.
Yeah.
Eridu
he's got
does.
one of those.
He's
Well,
got the
at least-
towel. with the blanket
Everyone's
wrapped around.
convinced that Eigner's got a loincloth. Really, Eigner just does no manscaping down there.
Well, why would he? You can't see anything.
Exactly. He's wild, dude. He's
He's had no
wild.
complaints so far.
Nah, dude.
He might be trying to whack away the bushes, but he might risk cutting down the tree.
Wow. Wow. All right. Yeah, we're really going places on this in this stream, guys.
Except for the
Who's the-
blanket that Thiala has over her to keep her warm. She is otherwise bare ass naked. So
All I've got to say is you can make an argument that innuendo doesn't exist in D&D anymore, but I just proved that it does.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So
That is one of those skills that, like, I always felt like it was really silly to have, but I miss it because it's just so funny.
Mm-hmm. So
So, what is Eridu doing on his turn? Are you readying an action to sort of like?
Yeah, I will just ready an action to charge and just give the fisticuffs to the first creature that comes within sight.
Because just to clarify, the tunnel is 12 feet wide, but only 25 feet until it reaches like this near vertical, like it's just off vertical. It's an acute angle climb.
Yeah.
we're really
so that
packed
would
in here,
come
man. I would say we went at least like 10 feet in to like try and get away from the elements, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say like 10 feet in is where the line is where our tents are, and then just shortly in from that we have the fire, and then we're all probably on the other side of that. So I don't know. It's like 5 or 10. No, it's like we're like 10 feet or less from this opening.
Yep. All right, so Eridu's holding his action, which is almost immediately triggered as this flurry of darkness dives into the fog, pushing more of it out and into the rest of the tunnel, filling the whole thing with thick fog. It is cold and icy. You can hear it sort of tingle around your ears. This dark shape, like a bat, spreading its wings out. These two blank, slightly green eyes push through the fog right in front of Eridu, and you see this maw open wide, and this icy cold drool drip down between the teeth. Gonna punch
Well,
it?
I did say I was readying my action to punch the thing that came closest, so
That's true.
I'm gonna punch
Wow.
that teethy fog right
Is
in its
it-
green eyes.
Drew, just curious, is this like an official D&D monster, or is it something you created?
It's an official D&D monster.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, I don't want you to spoil
being
anything, but
exhausted,
I'm curious for
being
later.
exhausted sucks because I just lost my crit because of it.
Aww.
But the first first attack is a 22.
That definitely hits.
All right, and the second attack is a I might miss 16.
That hits.
Okay.
Because it's 5 feet from you, you don't get any disadvantage from the visual obscurity. So
Just
what
the
I mean.
yeah. Well, I can't get double disadvantage anyway.
True.
That would be come on, some math. 15 damage if I am actually adding all my bonuses right, and I don't know if I am because I'm not right screen.
Right.
Figure it
As
out.
you
If it changes, I'll tell
ready,
you.
okay. As you get ready to strike this thing that comes out the tunnel, the moment you see it, you quickly strike it with a flurry of blows, and as you pull your hands back into position, readying yourself to defend yourself against whatever this thing brings, you feel the knuckles on your hands burn and blister. Punching this thing, it was scorching hot to the point where you take 14 fire damage.
Dang. Also, it should be noted that my fists do overcome magical resistance.
Yep. It is a quality of the creature, not a resistance thing. Anything
Oh no,
that
I know. I just wanted to make that clear in case it tried.
had like magical resistance to things. No, that's
It's
a
made out
good
of fog.
point to make. Yep.
Okay. I have taken.
Oh, when you
damage-
punched it, it was a solid thing. So this is like
Oh,
a
okay.
solid creature in the fog.
Yeah, so like being that I'm mostly wearing a towel, or a blanket, you can see like my legs are bleeding from cuts and bites, and my hands just full on from knuckle to forearm are just red hot, blistering at the base of my knuckles. I'm bloodied in the 4th edition term.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that was your reaction. Its action is to bite you. And so it rears back from
Oof.
getting struck, flaps the wings attached to either side of it, and dives forward. The rest of you see that there is a trail of what look like torches that alight in a line, snaking along to up the tunnel. These pairs of torches lighting up, creating this shadow on the ground of this long centipede-like creature that is going up the tunnel, the head of which has these
I know what
two
this is.
large antennae, tiny little mandibles at the bottom of its jaw. It launches forward and bites onto the side of Eridu.
Oh, hold on. Can we say that I'm close enough to? Can we say that I'm like within 5 feet of Eridu?
I'll allow that, yeah.
Okay, so in that case, my shield whaps outward, and I'm going to use my protection feature, and I'm going to spend my reaction to impose disadvantage on that creature's attack roll on Eridu.
Ooh, that was 21.
Shield Master. I may be naked, practically, but I still have the shield, and I'm still pretty good with it, man.
The
Yeah.
second roll is an 11, which misses Eridu.
Oh yeah, it does.
So as it launches its head sort of sideways, trying to grab Eridu around either side, Eigner comes in and blocks with a shield. And as Eigner's about to get lifted up off the ground, he wrenches the shield out from this thing's jaw, loosening a tooth which stabs into the ground like a stalactite. And then
Hell
he
yeah.
readies himself for the counter-attack, which is now.
Hell yeah, dude.
Eigner's action.
Hell yeah. Alright, so in that case, he's going to go... Let me get everything pulled up here. He's just going to strike out with Talon's Blade. And probably going to be making this a maneuver of some sort. Ugh. It's going to be a 2. Okay, so that's going to miss. Let's try that again. Ugh. Alright, I'm just going to tell you the number. That one was 12. Does
That
12 to
misses.
AC. Oh my god. I rolled a 2 and then I rolled a 4. Okay, so actually Eigner is maybe not very good at attacking right now, so what he's going to do is live it big, spend his action surge so he can get another action, and then he's going to
Alright.
use his other spell slot that he has. Because remember that you guys got the blessing, right? Not me. Did you remember your blessing on your turn, Eridu?
I did not, but I also
Okay.
didn't need it.
All right.
But he
Well,
hit,
that's
so
true.
that's-
That's true. Okay. But anyways, so I'm going to use my other spell slot on you, Eridu, and I'm going to try and hook you up with some more hit points, my dog. I'm going to touch you.
Cool, man. I could use them.
Yeah, I'm going to touch you and do cure light wounds. You know, cure
Sweet.
wounds, all light like.
Nice.
It's not so
moving-
good, dude. You
Okay.
get. I rolled
So
a
the
I rolled a
swinging
one.
talons blade around this thing, backs up, sort of dashes around to try and avoid your swipes, and then, quick thinking, you turn and almost slap Eridu on the shoulder. This pulse of blue light coming from your heart as it beats, traveling along your arm into Eridu,
Mm-hmm.
giving him a slight rejuvenation.
It's like 3 hit points, dude. I rolled a 1 on the thing. I'm just rolling garbage right now, dude. It's not good.
Meanwhile, Thiala, near the campfire, so has got some distance. Ranged attacks would be at disadvantage, but despite you like doffing your armor, I'd say it's easy enough for you to like race to your brace of pistols and pick them up if you wanted, or to grab a melee weapon and charge in. Your choice.
I don't have a melee weapon anymore. I sold it on
On eBay.
on eBay on the trip out here, knowing that it would be I need to pack light.
Mm.
So I'm trying to think. Okay. I saw that there were flames on it, right? And did I see that, like, when it bit Eridu, it kind of had, like, a fiery bite? Or was it just a normal bite?
Eridu's not been bitten. The damage he took was just from punching this thing.
Oh, okay. Well, then when he hit it, did it flare up with fire, or did it...
It didn't, no. But you are now noticing that there's a bit of a wavy haze around it.
Okay. So I would probably feel like it would be safe to assume that it is immune to fire.
It's an assumption that you're making.
I mean, it's...
If you, I'll allow a bonus action to sort of like try and quickly remember and make either a history or a nature check.
Probably nature. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference. It doesn't make a difference. Fucking 12.
You'll note that these things are immune to both the cold and fire.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my... I'm good against resistance. I overcome resistance with fire. I do not overcome immunity. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pistol. I'm gonna go over and grab my my pistols, and I'll shoot my one attack. I only have
Bada bing, bada boom.
the one. Do I roll with disadvantage, you said?
Yes, because of the fog.
Okay. Jesus goddamn motherfuckers. Okay, there you are. 8. I'm not proficient yet.
Nope, that does not hit the armor class. As you shoot, a wild lump of rock just explodes to the left of this thing.
Right. Okay, that's all I can do because I don't have. I can only shoot once.
Multiple
so
attacks.
I can do-
Yeah. Right, Eridu, back to you.
All right. I'm not loving that I'm getting burnt by this thing, so. Oh, my staff is probably in Eigner's bag because I don't. Unless it was like strapped to my back or something, I didn't make any real judgment with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we're allowed to play a little fast and loose here. I'd say that it'll be like within reach, like it could just be like propped up, stuck in the ground, like you've got a bit of softness
okay.
to the ground where you could like stabbed it in.
Yeah, it's gonna be propped up against whatever we had set up to start drying the clothes, and I'll
Okay.
move back to it and kick it up with my feet and catch it with my hands, and then turn and just crack this thing. As I do, I'm gonna go ahead and use. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna use that. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it just a double smack with that thingy with the staff. So
All right.
first attack is a double 1, so that is in fact a critical failure
Oh,
for sure.
jeez, dude. Wait, no, you have a blessing. It's not. It's not.
What does a blessing do
affect,
again?
It's
It
a
gives me
plus a
D4?
D4 on top of it.
That's
But
a
it doesn't
2.
affect.
It's a 2.
Well, it's. I mean, it's more than a 2 because I got my bonus.
Well, since
But
he's
it's still a
blessed,
crit
all
fail.
I'm
But a crit
saying.
fail is a crit fail
Well,
regardless.
this is what I'm saying. With Yorana's blessing, how could it be a critical failure? Like, she's gonna step in, she's gonna intervene, and make sure it's not a complete critical failure. It's gonna be mostly a critical failure.
I mean, it's gonna
I'm
go
gonna
terribly
say-
for me, Drew. What happens?
You manage to whack this young creature across the side of the head, knocking it into the wall, and then it turns, and you see that you've done no actual damage because you were sort of like following through with the motion that it was already doing as its head sways. But now that you've struck it, it is angry, and while its eyes were flicking between you and Eigner, it now has eyes only for you.
Well, I'm still next to it, Eridu, dude.
All right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna, as part of my action, because I can take 2 attacks, I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with a second attack since I've already
Ooh.
put myself in hot water. That's a much better.
Plus a D4.
That's a 24,
Oh, I totally didn't. Oh, 8 was not would have been enough.
and that's 5 bludgeoning damage. This does not overcome magical resistance because it is my staff, not my. Oh no, it's any monk weapons I have. No, it's my fists. I don't know.
No,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's just your fists.
Okay.
It's a
And-
staff of healing. I don't know if that actually does anything as far as
It is a
combat.
magic item, though.
But yeah, as you bring your staff around and whack this thing on the top of its head, it cracks down, and you can see as its head lowers down, you can see clearer the back of this thing. It has got these glowing orange spines on its back that were these torches that had lit up. As its head lowers and then rears back up again, it snaps forward to try and bite Eridu again. I assume disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Go ahead and oh, it's a disadvantage. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Still hits. Just I got a 16.
Oof.
I should have trusted my gut on that one.
Why? What was
I was
your?
gonna cutting words.
Ah,
I should have trusted my gut.
it then bites the side of Eridu, picks him up, shakes him from side to side, and then throws him down to the ground. Eridu flipping, landing on his feet with his staff still in hand, but then realizing the immense amount of pain that he's now in. That is 20 piercing damage and 7 fire damage.
Oof.
27 damage total.
I was gonna say I thought it was just the 20 piercing. I was like, oh, hey, your healing kept me alive. No, I am at -4 hit points. Not that the
Oof.
negatives matter.
Oof. Brutal.
Wow.
That is enough to drop Eridu. He
By the way-
is down.
Eigner, don't worry about it. I got him.
Oh
It is
sure.
Eigner's turn.
I'm not
I
worried.
got him.
My staff also does healing, by the way.
I got him.
Oh wait, do you got this or do you got that?
I got him.
Wait, you're
Got-
talking about. Wait,
I
you're
got-
talking about him.
I got.
Wait,
Eridu.
who's on first? Do you got Eridu?
I got Eridu.
Oh, okay, okay.
I have
what?
healing word.
What's on second? I don't know's on third.
I have healing word.
Okay, all right. So in that case, I'll just fuck up this thing that's right in front of me, dude. All right. So all right. So check this out. I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do an attack action.
Okay.
And I'll roll a 5 plus 8 would be 13.
Not enough.
But okay,
Are you not
so-
blessed as well?
I don't think so. Well, I
Yeah, you
mean,
can bless up to 3 creatures, including yourself.
so I could bless myself.
Yeah.
Do it. Roll that d4.
Get blessed, dude. All right, 14. I only rolled a 1.
Yes, that hits.
Oh, okay, sick. Okay, cool. So in that case, that does. That was going to be 8 damage, slashing damage. And then
Nice.
I'm going to spend a superiority die to do a fainting attack. So then Eigner, after the slash, just goes whoop, 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 and jukes him out a little bit, and then he's going to come in with another attack. And then if this hits, I'll be able to get that damage on there. Okay, yeah, that's definitely like a 17 plus 8. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely hits.
For sure. That's a lot. 11 slashing damage. And yeah, he's just going to hold the line.
Nice. As you slash across this thing, you hit it twice. When your sword comes into contact with this thing's skin, your arm starts to sizzle and crackle just from being so close to this creature. The heat coming off of it is immense.
Man.
You can almost see the precipitation coming down the walls, the ice melting to get away from the heat of this thing. You take 14 fire damage from your 2 slashes against this thing.
14, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot. Shit. Okay.
It's essentially each melee attack that is made
14.
against this creature within it is 7 damage per melee attack that hits it.
Dude, hold up. This is so cool. I got to point this out. Like on the D&D Beyond overlay on Twitch, since Eridu's at 0, this little thing pops up with his saving throws. You can see his death saving throws. That's such a nice little detail.
I like it.
That's cool. I like that thing, man.
Yeah.
Good on them.
It's a nice design.
For making that one. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I just attacked and then took some fire damage and then was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. And now it is Thiala.
Thiala will start with pumping Healing Word at 3rd level as a bonus action to bring Eridu back up. And damn near minimum.
Dude,
8.
lot of bad rolls, dude. Like Eridu didn't even need disadvantage. Like we've all been rolling so bad, it's like just as bad as having disadvantage.
I rolled a 1, a 1, and a 2 on the healing roll.
For real.
So I did that, and then I'm going to shoot again at the wormy thing.
I'll also say with your nature check as well, you'll know the name of this thing. It's a native to these sorts of regions. It's called a remohaz.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, I missed with a big old fat fucking 12.
Yeah, that's a miss.
That's including the bless.
The blessing.
That's including the bless.
Oh, man. So another shot goes wild. Rock explodes.
She's getting better. She's practicing, you know?
Yeah, well, so this explosion manages to shower the top of this thing's head with ice and stone. Next, it is Eridu, who his eyes flick open and a sharp intake of breath as Thiala's healing word gets to him.
I'm going to quickly snatch up my staff and take a step back and kind of give it a little twirly, spinning action, and then slam it into the ground. And as I do, I'm going to cast Heal Wounds on myself from the staff.
Oh, what level is it?
Right.
When it's from the staff.
I am going to figure that out when I cast it.
Word.
But probably, let's say you can cast it to 2nd level, so I'll probably cast it at 2nd level because...
Yeah, because you need it.
Actually moving out of range of the thing?
Let me cast it at 4th level. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to put myself...
Go for it, you'll be fine. Yeah. Trust me, go for it.
I mean, he was
I will pop a key point to do the disengage action.
There you go.
Cool.
I was gonna for sure cutting words it. So plus Kyle has the disadvantage. There's no way to hit you.
For sure.
Yeah, but I'm at such low health. If I don't heal myself, I need to make sure that I can get this step out. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the disengage,
Definitely.
and I'm gonna heal myself at 4th level. So it's 48.
Mhm.
Um,
Do you get to add your like wisdom modifier to that or something?
I don't
or-
believe so. I think it's just the thing.
Well, I mean, you should be able to add a spellcasting modifier to that because you're using the spell, which
But
does,
no, it's because it's a magic item spell. Like they don't always give you.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that's 18.
I don't remember what it is, so.
Oh, it is. It is plus your spellcaster
Oh, okay.
modifier.
that's what I'm talking
So,
about. You should make
not
a
all of
wisdom
them do,
for a
though.
monk.
Like my circlet of blasting, and I have to use a +5, not my spellcasting modifier.
I see.
So it's definitely it's 21, which is better than anybody else has healed me, but it's still potentially put me just above hit points. But that step back in doing that, like the redness is sort of decreased on my hands a little bit. Yeah, and that's all I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As they're twirling out the way, quickly healing yourself by calling upon the powers of the staff. This thing stares somewhat incredulously, and you see this semi-translucent film flick over its completely blank eyes and open again, and it moves forward in this rhythmic serpentine motion. And as it does so, it is moving past Eigner to try and get to Eridu again, prompting an attack of opportunity from Eigner.
Oh, you goddamn better believe it, dude. I'm probably going to make this a precise attack, honestly. It's probably
Okay.
just a good idea. And I got the blessing on top of it. Oh, dude, yeah. 18 plus 8 plus 1. Oh, dude, that definitely hits.
Yeah,
So this
absolutely.
This is bad news for this fool, you know what I mean? Bad news. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I mixed that up. The 8 that I rolled was for my damage, not for my attack roll. Wait, no. It was my precise attack. Dude, I'm getting so mixed up here. Sorry. I got so many maneuvers, dude. Alright, so it's going to be 8 slashing damage. And, sorry to ruin your day, mister, but when I hit you with an opportunity attack, your speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn.
Sentinel.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Sentinel's
So-
one of the nastiest feats possible.
Dude, so he's stopping right there. Right the fuck there, dude.
So, with a slam of your sword through this thing's antenna, with a very precise strike to get such a small, thin thing as it's moving and undulating through the air, you manage to force its head down to one angle, and it pulls its head up, ripping it along your sword blade, just until it gets to the tip, and that's when it flicks the sword out of the ground and back into your grip. And it turns, roars at you, and spreads its fins out more, skittering them slightly, the ends of them scraping along the walls, making this loud, cacophonous rattling sound.
Oh, wow.
But you have stopped it from moving, and so it turns to bite you instead.
Bring it, bitch.
You do take 7 fire damage from your melee attack striking it.
Oh, straight up.
Yep.
By the way, cutting words.
Cool.
Help
So
me.
that's disadvantage.
Nope. It's you subtract 7 from your roll.
Ooh.
Is that a reaction?
That's a reaction.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a 9 to hit then.
Misses, even though my AC is like only 12 right now, like ooh, all right.
As it
That's
moves
huge.
to try and bite Eigner, its head very quickly turns and stares at where Thiala is, as a cacophonous bellow booms down from the other end of the tunnel to
Yeah.
attract its attention, which it does.
Bang!
And it is now Eigner's turn.
Okay. Well, I'm out of spells. I pretty much just got to keep hitting this thing and just trying to keep its attention on me. That's pretty much what I got to do. Let me look at my things really quick. It doesn't make any sense to try and trip this thing.
I mean, you can try getting one leg out, and then
Yeah.
there's like 50 others.
Oh, excuse me, I gotta do like 49 more trip attacks, dude. You're finally prone. Fuck. Took forever. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do probably another fainting attack. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I am gonna do the fainting attack to give me the bonus on there. Alright, so 17 plus 8, 25, plus 3, yeah, definitely hit. And that is going to be 7. Hold on. Need to roll one more of these. That's going to be 14 slashing damage.
Nice.
For the first attack, and then this one's probably just going to be a regular slash. Ah, shit. Okay, so for that one, I'm also going to make that a fainting attack. Wait, no, I can't do that because I don't have 2 bonus actions. Alright, I rolled a 1 on the last one. And I'll take my 7 fire damage for just hitting this thing once.
Yep. As the scorching heat starts to crisp up your naked flesh, Thiala lines up her shot, most likely.
Oh,
Yes.
hold on.
He's not freaking.
Oh.
I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to use my second wind and heal myself a decent amount.
Do you have enough bonus actions for that?
Oh, God, you're
I don't know if
absolutely
it's
right.
both
I
actions.
can't
Oh,
do
God,
that
yeah.
because I already used it. Oh, okay. Go on, Thiala. Oh, gosh, I got so much shit going on over here.
Okay.
Yep.
Out of the two of you, which on a scale of what? How are you guys looking? I don't know. I don't know if Drew's asking you what your hit points.
I mean, it's there on the roll for mischief thing, but
mean-
Oh, yeah, that's true. It is on there.
definitely much worse.
Actually,
doing
you know
okay.
what? I think Eridu looks significantly worse than Eigner does.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, considering Eigner still has more hit points, like after taking damage, still has more hit points left than my total amount of hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
Eigner's a
I'm gonna
tough
pump-
guy.
I'm gonna pump another third level healing word into him.
Okay, I will take it.
Word. You
Oh.
will take it. Take that healing.
Take it like a man.
That one is much, much, much better.
Sweet.
14 total.
Nice. It was muted.
I'm
but
almost
it's
full.
Sweet.
And then
You should just pantomime like when I'm talking and I'm muted. Someone else should just talk for me.
Asa says he's giving all of his wealth to everyone.
Sweet.
I am going to then take another shot.
Asa. I'm sure it's illegal to say that in public.
Oh yeah.
That's why I didn't say it.
15.
Woo! Finally hit something.
I know.
Nice.
Right? Nice. 12.
12 damage.
Yeah, I finally and I almost maxed out. I almost max damaged.
And that's from one of these pistols.
Yep, that's from the pistol. It's a D10 plus 3.
Sweet.
So.
Whittling it down. In fact, as you fire off a shot, it lands in this thing's eye. Eigner, being so close, can see the eye bend inwards to breaking point.
Can't see it.
You can't.
No, I
Never
can't.
mind. No one sees.
It's very insensitive of you.
This eye explode. The goo lands on Eigner.
Yeah, I
so
can feel
you've been
it.
splashed by something.
I can definitely feel it and smell it and hear it and just I'm disgusted.
The viscous goo of eye gel splattering Eigner in the face.
Oh, delicious.
And it howls this screeching sound like a dozen fingernails on glass just scraping down.
Ugh.
Eridu,
Yes.
it's your action.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to get my staff in both hands, lift it above my head, and bring it down level with the ground. Um, and as I do, this this loud booming sound emanates from the tip of my staff, and this gust of air is launched at the creature. Um, it must make a Strength DC 15 save. Come on, fail.
Natural one.
Come on, fail. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like the
Okay.
first time one of my effects have actually hit something.
Rock on.
And let's see, I can spend how many key points are going left?
Muted.
Yeah, you got.
No, I'm mumbling to myself. I
Alright.
actually was fully not muted at all for any of that. I was just
Oh.
mumbling quietly. All right, I'm going to deal a shit ton of damage to it.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. All right.
Holy fuck balls! That is 3 10s, right there. That's 48.
What ability was
48,
this?
It's
This
one of his
was-
spells.
God damn it! What was it? I had it a second ago. It's 3d8 plus another or 3d10 plus another d10 per key point I used on it, and I used 3 key points on it. Plus, it's a base thing. And I'm gonna be super excited because these things usually things just pass the DCs. So, this was the Shattering Wind one, Fist of Unbroken Wind.
Fist of
And so-
Unbroken Wind.
Yeah, so it takes 48 bludgeoning damage and is knocked back 20 feet.
Oh my God! You're
and
just
knocked
like
prone.
pushing it right back up into its fucking little hole. Like, get out of here!
Right?
Wow.
cost
What was
me-
the total damage?
48.
48.
Oh,
40.
48.
48.
Four.
Or
Yeah, not 4d8. 48.
48.
Right.
That was-
That's intense, my dude.
5.
That might be the most impressive thing that Eridu's ever done in a combat. Might
I
be.
think so. Yeah.
I think legitimately, yeah.
But for perspective, it also cost me like pretty much half of my key points.
For sure. No,
So
yeah, I
that's
mean, you
the
sunk a lot
equivalent
into it.
of-
So
It's the
as
equivalent
you,
of someone like using all their spell slots in one shot.
Yeah.
you throw your fist forward, and this funnel of fog dissipates from in front of your punch. This breeze of air launches towards this thing and hits it square in the middle of its head, right between the eyes. And you see it cave in slightly. You hear this loud crack just reverberate around the tunnel. And then you see something fly out the back, hit the ceiling, and drop down onto this thing's back as all of the lights immediately snuff out in a cascade effect up this thing's spine, and it collapses down. Its side frills flapping down as it does so, gusting all the rest of the fog out of the tunnel, clearing it out in one fell swoop.
All
It is
right.
dead.
Did you knock its brain out of its fucking
You
head?
knocked its brain out of its head.
Dang. That is awesome.
It
Oh
had
my
93 hit points. It was on 73 when Eigner and Thiala had finished with it. So it ended up with 121 points of damage done to it.
Oh dang. I knew what it was early on in the combat from the description. I was like, oh, I know what that is, and I was like, as soon as we're done, I'm gonna look at the stat block and see what happened.
Yeah.
So, for comparison, I just dealt over half of its hit points in that one shot.
Yes.
The 48 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm excited about that because, like, overall in combat, Eridu is not super useful.
Oh, not really, but occasionally he does super cool shit like that.
Also, what's super exciting is between the proficiency bump in the last 2 levels my character has gotten, and the fact that I put another point into wisdom, so his wisdom got bumped up, my DC has gone up 2 this time. So
Mhm.
I'm not making people roll DC 13s anymore.
Mhm.
It's a 15, which is like
Yeah.
not great, but at least it's something that things can fail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This thing gets a +4 to its strength. It had an 18 strength, so the fact that it got a natural 1 was pretty much the thing guaranteeing it failed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was crossing my fingers like I hope this thing doesn't have great strength, but
Mm.
No, it has great strength. It just didn't roll well. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, that's crazy. Okay, so in that case,
that was fun.
after the dramatic death of that thing, Eigner will let this awkward silence drag on as he is covered in the eye gloop and whatnot, and then he'll turn back to where all this crazy shit came from. Cause like there was the bullet, and then there was this huge like psh, like rush of air beside him, and he was just frozen. Like, oh gosh, I hope I don't get caught in the crossfire here. So he looks back and he says, "What the hell is? Wait, was that you, Eridu?"
I mean, I did one of the things.
I've never witnessed anything like that out of you.
Well, I mean, the last time I did it, I was underwater.
Fair, fair. I'm covered in something absolutely disgusting. Excuse me. And then
Yes.
Eigner will go over to his bag of holding where there's like a water skin, and he'll just take out the water skin and just start pouring some on himself and just trying to get the gloop off.
Turning to Agner and Thiala, I'll say, do either of you know what this is, and is there anything that we could salvage from it that is possibly edible? I understand it may not taste good, but it might help us in some of our ration.
I would rather stick to the rations. I can't even see this thing, mind you, but I don't think I want any part of it.
Any
Well-
one of you can make an Arcana or a History or a Nature check.
I am proficient in history, so I'll take that one.
I am proficient.
The reason I asked that question is because I wasn't proficient in either nature or survival, and I figured those might be key.
21 Arcana.
21 Arcana,
And mine's 24 history.
24 History. So Eridu, you'll know that people in the tundra wastes, far to the west of here, but still in the northern part of the world, that Ramahaz sightings have been correlatory with surviving groups, large groups of people moving across the tundra wastes. The suggestion being that often the bodies of the Ramahazes are harvested for materials to keep people warm and safe on long journeys. There's a particular story that you remember hearing. It's never been written down anywhere. It's something passed on purely verbally, and so there's bound to be lots of changes made. But that there was once a blind peasant who was traveling north to go and visit a small village where his family lived, and by fighting off a baby Ramahaz, he managed to use the body parts of it to make the rest of his way while seeing things. Somehow it magically restored his sight, this creature. It's got a legend, he's got a name associated with it. It's Colvin's Remohaz. And it's some people say that it's any Remohaz, some people say that it's this particular one that's part of this story that did this, like a shiny Pokemon. It's like this 1 in a million chance. Thiala will know that Remohazes generally do have alchemical properties. If you have a herbalist kit in a pinch, but if you've got some kind of alchemist kit with you, that lots of body parts of Ramahaz are highly prized, that by processing the spines in the proper way, primarily the glands that are just underneath the spines, you can create a great many things, including alchemist fire and other potions of maintaining heat. And that the claws have a great deal of sensitivity in them, and that sometimes the bones inside the legs, with the claws still attached, while loose fitting and wobbling about. Striking it is almost like a tuning fork, and the vibrations sent along the bones. For some reason, humanoids seem perfectly attuned to this. It gives you a sort of tremor sense. It lets you see things through your arms within a 60-foot radius, provided that the ground is solid.
What?
I'm going to tell Eigner about that and give him kind of. I feel like it fits him the best. Like it's something that would benefit him the most.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like what he's already doing in a narrative kind of flavorful way, but
Right.
he'll definitely accept it and just say something gruff like, "Well, I guess I do want a part of this." Curious.
Also, I'll
And-
say now, it tastes like crab.
Oh,
Okay.
so we
Like
can eat it.
crab or like crap?
Crab. Like the crustacean.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so we're
'Cause, I
actually
mean,
eating
I
this
like
thing?
crab. I don't like
If,
crab.
if you want.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm
Uh,
not sure if Thiala would like that. Nope, she would not.
Eridu is not going to worry about taste as much as like he would if it's something that can be eaten. Yeah, he will try to harvest it properly to eat it.
Nice.
But like crab, I'm assuming that it's got to be harvested a certain way, and only certain parts of the meat are actually edible.
I'll say that given your general familiarity, you'll know that there are large cuts that you can go for that are definitely safe. I don't want to get bogged down in the minutiae of
Harvesting meat.
machine. Yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
always do survival for that. If
I
you
just
want-
I just look at it this way: its legs and fins are probably safe to eat in the same way that crab legs are safe to eat, but you wouldn't want to eat like along the center body where the flamey thingies are at, because that's probably its like digestive tract, and I'm sure that's like gonna be like the internal part of a crab's main body where it's just gross.
Yeah, for sure. All
That's
right,
not
so we're
something I knew about crabs.
so we're snapping
Oh,
off
yeah.
legs, dude. As soon as Eridu snaps off some legs and maybe gets them in a cooking pot or whatever, then Eigner starts to sniff and says, "Oh, that actually smells pretty good." Okay, and then he'll go off and he'll just snap off like a good 5 or 6 legs off of this thing.
Y'all will dig into the bag of holding and pull out one of her 20-ish. I think I bought 20. Like I spent the money of 20. I dropped 10 gold and I bought 20, assuming that I could just stuff them in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna grab that and eat that.
Cool.
So I assume 20 should be enough to last me however long this particular quest.
Presumably, yeah. Like, I don't imagine that you guys are expecting to camp out here terribly long.
Right. So that I'm not gonna. That way, I don't have to keep track of it. Just 20
Yeah.
is enough.
We can now stop for a long rest.
Long rest.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah, we need it,
Yeah, all
especially
about the long
especially Eridu.
Yes. I would, however, like all three of you to make one Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Okay, so that cancels out my exhaustion. Ooh, that's no good.
30. Or no, sorry, 20.
30's pretty good.
Apologize.
Mine is 17.
4. I got a 4.
Because
You're blessed, Asa. You're still blessed.
Oh yeah, with advantage. You got
Well,
4.
it's
because,
7.
because he's got disadvantage because of the exhaustion, it cancels out the advantage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I rolled a 2, so I got 7 with my blessed.
All right. So that means that Thiala, Eigner, you guys are able to keep yourselves nice and warm by this fire. Eridu, however, combination of exhaustion and the cooking process, like you're moving away from the fire an awful lot. The cold begins to settle into your bones. You get a second level of exhaustion, which of course can cancelled out by the rest, but you still have 1 level.
1 level of exhaustion. Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
that's a
Because
bummer.
that's 1 hour that you guys need to be exposed to the cold while your clothes dry,
Mm.
Yeah.
and you get the advantage for being near the fire.
Mm.
So Eridu still with a level of exhaustion, but the rest of you and Eridu as well, able to fully heal up, get all of your supplies back. Day will dawn, although looking outside you will not be able to tell. But you guys are well rested. There doesn't seem to be anything else coming down this tunnel. What is the order of the day once you guys have woken up?
Well, first thing that Eigner's going to do is he's going to go check on the boat and see if the boat's still there.
The boat is not there. No one that I recall.
Nope.
No one said anything about
Oh,
actually securing it.
Well,
I did
he did
actually.
say that he
Yeah?
secured it. I said
I-
I was going to try and use a block and tackle to drag it up to us or whatever, but then I didn't
I
bother
remember
with that.
you saying that and that you didn't bother.
Yeah.
I apologize
No,
if
I was when I was resting my eyes. I said I had set a pitten into the wall and tied it to that pitten, and then after that, I had lain back in the boat and closed my eyes. And I knew I should have been keeping a vigilant watch, but I was just so tired.
Word.
Right. Okay. In that case, then the boat is still there. No one's come and stolen
Okay,
it.
good.
But I was not being diligent enough to catch that you'd tied it on.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted your boat to have drifted away.
Yeah. Eigner,
I mean, I could roll you a check to see how well I did right now if you want.
It was going to be
Retroactively.
an extra inconvenience for the end of the adventure. I'm not so fussed about it. So, in fact,
Okay.
it's still there.
So Eigner comes
Okay.
back and he says, "Thank the gods," or more specifically, "Thank Yarana," because our boat is still there. I was
Okay.
worried that the rough seas would have snapped the line and taken it right away from us.
Oh no, I pinned it down, or tied it down quite diligently.
Excellent. You still look quite tired, my friend.
Yes, this is taking its toll on me. I still feel very exhausted, for lack of a better word.
You'll do okay. And then at that, Eigner will touch you and give you a little burst of guidance, if anything, just for a little boost of I don't know, morale. Try and make you feel better.
Right. All right.
So what the hell are we doing now? We've got this disgusting dead body thing taking up this one. I mean, are we gonna go row again? Try and make our way around the island a little more?
I think that we should
Not
go
blocked
up
off.
the tunnel.
Yeah.
I think we should go up the tunnel and see what we can find first.
Find more of those? That's probably what we're gonna find up that tunnel is just more of those.
That was a big fucker, right? That was a large creature.
It was large in
Yeah.
size, yes.
I mean, this isn't that big of an island. That was a big fucker. So
I mean-
don't think...
I mean, it's a moot point though. The body is still taking up this entire thing.
Well, then let's drag it off and dump it into the ocean.
The body is essentially creating like a carpet, so you guys can still clamber on top.
Oh,
It's
that's gross.
I
Like,
was
okay.
gonna say we could use the body to kind of help us get up this path,
Interesting.
couldn't we?
Yeah.
Did we ever
Okay.
try harvesting any of the things from it that are alchemic?
Not the alchemic, but I did harvest the some of the things for him, the feet.
Eigner's not
Oh, okay.
really interested. Eigner just ate a bunch of the feet, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and equipment-wise, I don't have alchemist tools or herbalist tools, so I don't have the
Neither do
tools
I.
to actually. Yeah.
harvest or process them, yeah.
Nor am I that worried about alchemist fire. I got plenty of fire to go around.
For sure.
I mean, me as a player know that the goblins like to make, or the kobolds can make alchemist fire. We could sell it to them, but me as a character doesn't know that, so I'm not gonna
For sure.
go out of my way.
Well, so it looks like we're getting pretty close to 3 o'clock here. Our characters have a plan of sorts. Characters. We kind of have a plan. And I guess we're going to go up that tunnel next week.
Yeah, I'm happy ending it there for the session.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just happy that I don't know. I mean, the worst is that Eridu's still exhausted. But
Mm.
that we did okay in the battle. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Did
But
decent, yeah.
Still feel like we're screwed a little bit. Well, sweet. Thank you so much for joining us for this here session of Volohin, Winds of War. Join us next week, Tuesday at 12 Pacific time, and we'll continue this crazy little story.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
Bye.
watching.
See ya.
See ya.